Hi everyone, well this is the video of the year then, the one you've all been waiting for. So this is Chelsea Flower Show Stand 2025. Now, um, just before I start, as always, the same disclaimer. Do not base our selection of flowers on these gorgeous plastic flowers that I've managed to find from our local Happy Mart. So, of course, I love purple, so you'll see a profusion of purple here. So, Bish, please do not go out and spend thousands and thousands on lavender, okay? We'll stick to the plan we've already discussed in terms of planting. So, the stand looks similar to 2024, but it's completely different in oh so many ways. Far improved, far improved. The first major improvement, which cannot be immediately perceived, is the mushrooms. So they are now the third iteration, vastly improved, 25% bigger. The doors they close like a Rolls Royce door, and in all ways just vastly superior. They caused so much attention last year that I felt it's a pity to just drop them and continue on with something else. So I've gone back, totally re-engineered them better. Here they are. And the second similarity is the actual wall structure. The 8 main columns that supported the weight of the wall last year, I'm bringing them back, but no more undulations. Sedum is totally thrown out the window. It was an absolute nightmare last year. We're going back to the tried and tested meadow turf from the Hampshire growers, and what we've actually worked on is a new system of attaching the meadow turf. So instead of doing the work on the Chelsea Flower Show grounds, we're going to pre-attach the meadow turf in the middle of April to pre-cut plywood, and we're going to train the meadow turf to grow upright in the intervening 2 weeks, so that when it's moved to the Chelsea Flower Show on custom-made stillages, a bit like a toaster rack, we're going to put a spider crane in the middle of the stand, and we're just going to winch these 100-kilo plywood and then literally just lay them on the wall, which would already be in place. The 8 columns from last year's wall remain the same. We have another critical column, which is huge and over-engineered to a degree in the middle to take most of the weight of the 2,000-kilo water feature that's going to be featured on the 3-meter height of the back wall. And in addition to this ninth column in the middle, we're tying it all together with substantial I-beams. What do you call them? You don't call them I-beams. RSJs, you call them over there. And then heavy schedule tubular braces that are going to diagonally brace and connect the 9 columns together. Basically, it's typical James Doran-Webb over-engineering at its best. Of course, the engineering calculations will follow to keep health and safety reassured that everything is perfectly stable. So the new change or the new improvement as well is the method of displaying the sculptures. The 5 sculptural installations that surround the mushrooms will now be elevated and surrounded with a wicker surround. You can just see it behind the plants. What it'll allow us to do is basically plonk the sculptures into place, and instead of excavating to drop them into the excavation, twiddle them around to get the best perspective, and then lay the wicker surround around them, pop in a plywood riser, and then Bish can do his magic planting above. So that's going to make the sculpture installations a lot easier. We've got 3 water features. Likewise, the 2 water features on the ground will not need to be excavated to the full 40 centimeters. We'll probably excavate them down maybe 15 cm, and the wicker will do the rest to hide the surround. So the 3 water features, we've got this wonderful golden eagle, which is just skimming the top of the water in the front there. We've got the importance of fishing at the back. Here we are, me lurking there to give a sense of scale. And then we've got the destriers jump, destriers ascent and descent on the back wall, which is this glorious horses jumping over this water feature in the middle. So as always, as per RHS requirements, we sterilize all the equipment and clean it all out, and then we chlorinate during the show, so everything's going to be tip-top and safe. Moving on to the pathway, so we're going to be using stepping stones. Stepping stones will be embedded in the meadow turf. On the ground, we've got meadow turf from our old friends up in Yorkshire, the hardy meadow turf that will withstand a little bit of abuse. So the stepping stones basically will be laid, allowing 4 accesses to the stand. The main access is through the front here, and then it curves around that water feature and also continues on in a split around Pegasus, and then cuts again around the back of the baying stag with the sleeping stag at its foot. From this main entrance here, there's um, another pathway to lead to the importance of fishing. And then there's a private entrance to the mushroom complex here. We'll have wonderfully kind of proper posts with a small little braided rope saying private area on the 2 access point to the mushrooms to stop friendly groups of people sitting down and eating their sandwiches and taking a rest from the toils of the Chelsea Flower Show view. The second access to the mushroom complex is down there on the from the Great Pavilion. What is not featured here are the smaller sculptures. So we have a number of smaller sculptures, areas for smaller sculptures, right below my hands. This is one area here. There's another area in between Pegasus and the baying stag. And then on the front here, as a little bit of a border between the mushroom complex and people walking around, there can be other areas for the smaller sculptures. I'm popping a panda bear down there where I'm pointing my finger. So the panda bear is going to be suspended in between 2 branches, looking glorious. So that's it. Of course, I encourage any comments and suggestions in the knowledge that they won't be followed because it's too late. But I do value your insight nonetheless. And of course, looking forward to the Chelsea Flower Show build. Bring it on.